Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suleiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker 7 Seals. Brothers and sisters, we're in a critical time. The devils know it's critical because they feel it. People that target seem to be oblivious to it. This is going to be a short presentation, brothers and sisters. You know, I mentioned in the past I had these visions when I was a child. And one, where I climbed up a mountain, but I was like, not, like, I was what, mountains inclined, right? So you kind of like not walking straight up because right? So you got, you climb it like that, right? And the more I climbed, the darker it got. The darker it got. Right? Until I couldn't see the mountain. I couldn't even see myself. I couldn't see anything. I mean, I couldn't see anything, nothing. Totally blind because it was so dark. And I was really tired. And I kept trying. The more tired I got, I was so tired. I couldn't move anymore. I was just totally wiped out. And I got to where I couldn't move anymore. I couldn't see anything. I could just feel that mountain that I was on. I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. And I just got inspiration to just, when you're doing like this, right? Just do it one more time. Just make one more. And something else strength to. And that's not. And when I did, I was at the top of the mountain. I didn't realize it. Touched the top of the mountain, all of a sudden, a rainbow like circles. Instead of rainbow like this, right? It's more like circles. It's waves. It was so beautiful. It made things so beautiful in my life. And I felt it. State of bliss. I never took crack and that kind of stuff. I did smoke marijuana when I was in Vietnam. I don't think those drugs have anything on this. You get a taste of that, boy, and you taste that. That kind of like drives you because once you get that, you get hooked on it. You want that again. I had that experience similar to that. Well, I tasted that a couple of times, and that was it. And so, but the thing is, I was just so wiped out. I didn't know what that meant. I think it was right after my mother passed, because she passed when I was 9 years old. Just before, just after. I think I had those visions right after she passed. It was a comforting or something, right? Because she was a real young woman. She was in her early 20s, right? Got cancer. There's no history of cancer in my family, none whatsoever. My sister's 1 year younger than me. She's 75, and she ain't lived no righteous life. And she don't have no cancer. And I got other relatives. They died at 70, 80 years old. The only one, my mother, and she's the only one took that polio shot. The only one took it. She had a lot of sisters and brothers. So much for that. I didn't know what that meant. And now, as I got older, in my experience, I see what it means. I didn't give up. I just got to the last point where I was about to give up. And I said, let me. So, what does that mean? When you read about Jonah, you see what it meant. Dealing with these Levites. They caught, they say, these bones living, and they characterize as dead. I mean, you can't be worse than dead. Can these bones live? You have the responsibility to give them life. Right? It's at heart. And I gave a presentation last night. I showed it, trying to give you an idea. All these people with all this bullshit. But see, you have to understand the season we're in. Because I mean, Adam, all this wickedness. That's why the prophet says, "How can God? Why are you letting these people get away with this stuff?" That's why Iblis had a problem because they understand the seasons. They understand how the creation works. That's why you have to understand mathematics, but not you have to have comprehensive mathematics, thorough knowledge of self. We say thorough knowledge of self because you mathematics, thorough knowledge of it, and then stuff start making sense. Otherwise, that's why he said, "Told Angel, I know what you know not." It was a season for that, and you would not be successful in that season, but Adam would be, and he's a benefit to you. How does it benefit? Well, it's a season where it won't be any clean water, but you have dirty water. So would you want to survive that season? He can get dirty water. You can't get any clean water. There's no clean water around. But you have dirty water. He can get dirty water. He can use dirty water. So, okay, you want to say, I'm not going to drink that dirty water? When you're going to die then? Listen, I'm not going to do that. He said, okay, we'll drink the dirty water. We'll drink all of it. We drink as much of it he give us. You see? When you understand that way, you say, oh, but as soon as you understand that way, no one understands that way. The prophet didn't say, until he saw how the thing ended up, he said, oh, now I see how it ended up. It was just the season we're in. Because if Adam wasn't here to rule, it'd been total chaos. We might have been reduced to cannibals. There's hardly any food, and they start fighting each other. Who's going to keep control? Who's going to keep? We couldn't do it because we had energy to do it. So he maintained a certain level of rule, certain level of civilization, if you want to call it that. We would have had none during this period of time. So it would have been a bad one, but it would have been better than nothing. He was still, the only thing is, he was considered just. So you don't touch the tree, then you become unjust. So, because they can't explain this stuff. These fools can't explain it. Students can't explain it. No one can explain it. Because they don't know they don't know what they're talking. I'm not going about that. What the hell are they talking about? And they're confusing people. And see, that's part of this here. See, the point is that this is Adam is an emotional person. It's the emotional season that comes with it. And with emotional season, means you follow your emotion. That's why the government is democracy. Democracy is an emotional system. It's not authoritarian. It's not emotional. Authoritarian system is not an emotional system. System that you have authority. You got brain. You got somebody to tell, and everybody follows it, whatever. But democracy is an emotional system. It's what people want. If you went along with your body, what your body wants, how long would you survive? You got to tell your body, you got to dictate, you have to have discipline on your body. And your body benefits from it. You resist it though, your body resists discipline. I'm hungry. And so you got to say, oh, well, you got to determine whether to eat or not. I'm thirsty. I want some sex. I want some apple pie. See? Because all this is based on emotion. Capitalism, all this is based on emotion. This particular season. But now the season's coming to an end. And so all this stuff is failing. When is over? When it's coming to an end? So all this stuff is melting. It's simple. Why can't anyone understand it? So because emotion's like, so that's why there's all these false prophets. Because they follow their emotions, and other people, they like that. I like apple pie. I like on soda. I like pork chops. As long as they feed them pork chops, they're gonna stay with them. It's as simple as that. Because and so when the brain comes in a discipline, the body's gonna reject it. You know how when you try this, I'm going to the gym, your body, oh, I get sore. I'm gonna fast. Oh man, you get real hungry. That's your body resisting all of that. That's your body resisting all that. It's gonna resist it. And then the brain has to force it into submission because it's gonna resist it, but then it's gonna suffer because it's resisting it. I'm eating three now. Oh, now I got diabetes and everything. All the body's all sick. And things not working. Hardly and communicate with the lungs. All this stuff is all out of whack. Because that's the result of this resistance. Because it don't want to listen to the brain. And the brain's not strong enough to force it to discipline it. After a while, if the brain don't get on the case, after a while, the body takes over the brain altogether. And then you just lose consciousness, and you just everything hangs out. And then you really like Wallace, right? He died of diabetes, so he knew everything. And if you watch all those people that if you watch that presentation last night, I tried to show all these different results. All these people, see, look how they ended. And the common denominator, I'm speaking of those people that watched that presentation, all these different people, the common denominator, they all stole some part of Elijah Muhammad's teachings. They didn't come with anything on their own. And then turn against him. They stole his teachings. They stole his works. His own son stole his works and then turn on him and stole everything. They stole. That's the way the body works. It's emotional. And that's why it said Suleiman, son of man, he'd be despised and hated. Despised. There's two reasons for that, because like I said, he's trying to wake that body up. The body resistant. Remember, if it wasn't resistant, it wouldn't be. If you gotta get up in the morning, you can't get up. That means the body resistant. If it wasn't resistant, you get rounded up. The body resisting. And so they're dead, so that means they're total resistance. Total resistance. There's another reason. That's the reason that it's protection for him, because he wants people to despise him. Because he don't want people to come to him because they like him. He don't want people to come on emotional. He's purposely don't want people to like him. Because he's just promoting the same thing. They come in to him because they like him. They ain't there because of the truth, the discipline. They have to come. The body has to be disciplined. They say a dead person. They say for a while. When they put on a slab, sometimes they move. Hey, no, he's not alive. He just reflects. Muscle just reflex action. That's discipline. So it's reflex. No, we want the body to move. I know reflex action. So I do things purposely to make sure you hear, because the discipline and knowledge, the wisdom, not here because you like me, because I don't do anything to make anybody like me. I think my wife likes me. Hope she do. My children don't like me. I tell them they got the same thing. I said, I cannot take you and save you. You have to save yourself. And you can't do it because you like me. That's a hard lesson. It's hard for me because I'm trying to tell them. And they get mad at me, but I'm trying to save them. I know they're going to come because they like me. It's not going to work. But they have to also arise to the situation themselves. Like Mama said, every tub has cell's own bottom. They got to climb that ladder. They got to climb it out of here. There ain't no way about it. And they like me. They think, okay, I'm gonna carry them up it. I can't do that. I wouldn't do it anyway. I can't do it. See, that's what happens. They like you. They expect you to. Because I know people out over the years, right? They thought, hey, they come in, all stuff, man, all they got to do is say, I believe in, man, they could slow right on to here. And what? You think that's the way it's going to work? No. People say that, man, oh, hey, man, I'll be in here next year. No. You got to climb that ladder, period. That's why it says, if you love your mother, father more than me, you can't. I'm just telling you how it is. So if God comes to tell you how it is, He don't tell you how you want it to be. That's where the universe works. Because if it was under my control, we would never went in this deprivation. Who the hell wants to go through this? Car costs and what we had to go through now. Who in the hell, you think we did it on purpose? That's a good idea? That's just the way the universe works. So we try to fit, we put script, so how to deal with that season, how to deal with the winter season, how to survive it, how to use it to your benefit. You think I want this? I didn't want this job. This mission, if you call it a mission or whatever you want to call it, I'd be glad to give it to someone else, somebody can handle it in a heartbeat. The way it happened, I'm pretty sure that's the way they designed that way to trick me into it. If I saw it coming, I would have ran like hell. I had no idea what I was getting into when I started getting in there. Started reading the injury. I had no idea what I was getting into. No idea whatsoever. And then I'm in it. Oh, like a fish. He bite on that worm. Didn't know it was hook in it. And then he's in a frying pan. So they tricked me into it. So that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. You know what it was? I would have took this, volunteered for it. No way. When I was with Elijah, I resisted even being a minister. They tried to get me in the minister's class. I didn't want to be doing that. Just good enough for me. I just follow him. So I'm gonna keep this short, bro. So people just don't understand what's going on. Levites just don't get it. See that detriment. They don't understand words. So I'm pressing in trouble. They don't get it because they did it. Reaction would be totally different than what it is. Totally different where it is. And you tell by a person's reaction what what they're acting to. It's been hollering, yelling around the building. There's maybe something terrible going on in there. He's walking out like this here. The house could be burning on fire. He's been walking all casual. You don't think it ain't happening here because they may not react to that fire. But the body's still dead. It said the body would remain dead to the resurrection. And you gotta keep looking at that. That's why one thing every time somebody come around in the last 35 years, I'm very suspicious. Because people say they're not gonna come alive before Winslow. If they show up before that, then what are they here for? And the other test was if they do show up, right? Are they producing anything? If they ain't producing anything, they show up, there's something problem there. So anyway, that you understand what's going on. So everybody's following their moves. That's why they follow these people. And they follow them. I mean, and emotions can be very inspiring. When you feel good, man, you do all kinds of stuff. When you feel good, you feel bad, but you do kind of bad stuff. The guy wouldn't just shut everybody away feeling bad, just went up there and just shot bump it away. Because emotions get to extremes. Like weather, you can be very extreme. Either way, it can be extremely hot or extremely cold. And so I look at these people like, well, how's all these people, how dedicated they are? And then they dedicated 1 minute, the next minute they're hostile. See, because that's the way emotions work. Marriage don't have that problem. It works. You got to come out that emotional plane. So far, I haven't been anybody that's been barraged by the emotional plane in my entire life other than Elijah. I was in that emotion. Fire comes in it. Everybody's in it. He's still locked in it. I'm a lonely person. I don't mind. I like, but it says, the son of man hides himself in triple darkness. You don't come out. 300 years, stay and die. But that don't mean he's hiding. He just don't make himself known. One reason just for privacy's sake. Because sometimes they recognize, then we got to deal with all it. Well, I don't know. He made himself known at this particular time because it grabbed the situation. Because people are dead. The whole nation is just dead. The whole world's in an emotional state. Because why do they follow these people? And if you, once you, and see, I'm talking to myself here. Because I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to myself. Because nobody understands anything I'm saying here. If they would be reacting a certain way. Nobody understanding. Because the point is, but I still have to put information out there because right, you gotta keep throwing pebbles in that pool. You want that pool to start moving. And that's what it is. It says you gotta preach. It didn't say you gotta take and get what do you call it? What do you call it? Consulting classes. You got to go psychiatry, or you got to go in. No, it says you got to preach to the four. We got to put that information out there. Preach to the four winds. You got to keep doing it, and that's what I'm doing. In fact, I'm doing it more now than ever because it's critical. Get that body activated because that body has to be activated in a certain period of time because they close in on you. You already got this. They already closed in on you. Everything's already set. Match Muhammad doesn't make his move, you're lost. If he doesn't make that move, you're lost. Because they're already set. I try to explain to you, but you don't understand anything. I know you don't understand anything because the way you're acting. They already closed in on you. So that's where you got to, you didn't see it coming. Now, if you'd have been listening, you listened for a little while, Elijah, and recognized the message of the covenant 35 years ago, there's no way they could have done that. You'd been even gone by now. But now they closed in on you. They closed, now they actually got you. They closed in on you. How you know? Because they says, we see Jerusalem by army. That means the trap is already set. It's already set. So I press the damn button. And that's your end. The trap is already set. And you don't see it. You don't see it. The trap is already set. So I'm not concerned because I know I'm not going to. It says, time of Jacob's trouble, he'll be delivered out of it. Now I've never met Muhammad. I understand the math situation. I don't believe in the Bible because just the Bible says it. I believe in the Bible because it's not a matter of faith. Because I show the math. I saw the math in it. It's the math that tells me it's right. Not just because it's there. I try to tell people the math. They don't get it. You just did because you believe it or because I said, you got the wrong idea. You got to believe it because you see the math of it. You see the math, how things work. That's okay. But you don't see it that way. No one sees it that way because they believe in the Bible, not because the math. They already know there's math in it. They believe it because somebody says believe it or faith or whatever. If you don't have anything else, faith is better than nothing. If I believe it because of faith, I wouldn't be acting like I'm acting now. I wouldn't be because I could be wrong. Then I'd be reluctant. I'd be not sure. And that's what's happening right now, because the people that claim they want it by faith. That's why they act like they're acting, because they're not sure. Because when you understand the math of it, you're actually sure. You know the house is on fire. Because you smell the smoke. Oh man, well maybe it's on fire, maybe it's not. Let me see. Let me wait and see if I see some fire burning. But you already know the math of it. You know, smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know the math of it. You ain't got to wait to see the fire. You out there when you see the smoke. Maybe to wake up later on. But before you wait till the four winds blow, that means it's going to be, when you understand the four winds, that means it's going to be, when you wake up, you're going to wake up under fire. You know you wake up under fire because it tells you got to flee, because you wasn't paying attention to what was going on. So now you're under fire, and you ain't got time to think anymore. They fired at your ass. You did it to yourself. God gave you plenty of time. What, 9-some years ago? It's been 40-some years. Yeah, all this time, and you did not a goddamn thing. And then 35 years with me, and I'm giving you all the math and everything behind it. You did it to yourself. Because a lot of people, people are going to be lost. Maybe some of your children will be lost too. Maybe you will be. You had plenty of time. God came. He's not a messenger. He's not a messenger of the covenant. You have no idea who he is. And you're still sitting around scratching your ass. Oh, I smell a little smoke around here. I don't smell nothing or whatever. You did yourself. So you wake up under fire. That means, because you put it together, if you can't go in and get your baby, that means your baby's going to be burned up. Do you read between the lines there? That's how clear it's going to be. And you did it to yourself. You don't read between the lines. If it says you can't go in the house to get anything, that means you don't go in the house anything. You don't have to tell your baby's in there. You don't have to tell your children's in there. Why have to tell you that? Don't go in. So if you're outside and say, "Oh, go and get your coat," but if you got a tree, you better go and get them. If you got time to get your coat, how you got time to go get the children? Same thing. Don't you read between the lines? That means they're going to be lost, and you might be lost too, even if you know to flee. And if you don't know to flee, then you won't know until they're blowing your head off. Is that critical enough for you? Why? Because you and your leaders ain't doing a goddamn thing to get this information to people to show the emergency, what's going on. So it's your own fault. Because the elect is not going to suffer that. They're out of here. I'm out of here. Your own fault. You can't say, "Oh, I didn't have the money to be there," or "I didn't have." No, it's a free gift. Nobody's asked you for anything. Just give you information. There's a lot of climate. And now we at the door now. We're here now. Okay. That's why makers move. Because they got to make it soon. Because the trap is set. And you ain't see it coming. I've been talking about it now. I made it very clear in the last couple of days. The trap is set. And you've been doing it right in front of your face. You don't see it. And you're probably the wise people on the planet. Set right in front of your face. The trap is set. I'll put a couple of things in them clothes, brothers and sisters.
Or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass. So long till they don't know the birth record So they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man, because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. You don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. It's a big subject. I want to say to my Muslim brothers,
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagger as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
yes, sir,
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa maybe 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that.
Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. At least that's what he tells Henry Louis Gates Jr. in the current issue of the New Yorker magazine. Speaking of his father's white Portuguese parents, the Nation of Islam leader said, I'm going to tell you something. You really want to know what I think? I think they were members of the Jewish community. He added, I believe that in my blood, and not in a bad way. Because when I was a little boy I used to love listening to the Jewish cantors in Boston. They had a program, and every week I would listen. I was struck by the cantor, and I've always loved the way they sing or recite the Torah. Gates, citing an academic source, says Farrakhan's assertion about his lineage is highly probable given that nearly all people of Iberian descent in Jamaica and Barbados are of Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Farrakhan was born in 1933, the son of May Clark, who was from Barbados. He was named Gene after his father, a light-skinned man with straight hair from Jamaica. His father, Gates writes, was a philanderer whom the family rarely saw. If in my lineage there are Jews, I would hope that in the end, before my life is over, I not only will have rendered a service to my own beloved community of black people but will also have rendered a service to the Jewish community, Farrakhan was quoted as saying. In the interview with Gates, which reportedly lasted 9 hours, the Nation of Islam leader also made reference to wise Jews who plan evil, the international conspiracy of Jewish bankers and overwhelming Jewish complicity in the slave trade. Jewish groups expressed outrage over Farrakhan's latest public statements. Farrakhan's effort to make it appear that he is merely criticizing the evil he finds in his own Jewish antecedents is a reflection of the bizarre and ludicrous nature of his entire behavior towards Jews, Phil Baum, executive director of the American Jewish Congress, said in a statement. Meanwhile, a planned protest against the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith fizzled last week when Washington, D.C., police denied former Nation of Islam spokesman Khalid Abdul
Anyway, brothers and sisters, in again, democracy, right? Okay, politicians, how do you get elected? Because they got to appeal to the emotions of the people. They got to like them. I thought it's an emotional system. They got to appeal, make people like them. If people don't like you, they're not going to vote for you. You got to pay. You know what I'm saying? It's about emotions, not truth. About emotions. The whole system is based on emotions. And the same thing there. Would you just go right there? Oh, this is about this, because they say they're trying to hold that thing they got together called NOI. Well, there people think, because they say, there was, I just can't remember that minister's name. He was a preacher, right? And he was a mega church. I've been meaning to go to research to find who this was, because I say you know his name. He was a black guy. And he had a mega church. He was a big church. And the devils tell them when they go to the ministry, the school, what do you call it? Whatever school they call it, right? You got to get their license or whatever, right? They tell them certain things, like, one thing they tell them, don't be teaching that stuff that real original people. And Martin Luther King understood that. But when he talked to Elijah Muhammad, he went out and told the Promised Land speech where they're not supposed to talk that. And he was dead the next day. It blew his head off. Because they don't want you to know who you are. Don't be telling them black folks that. Because see, we're a community threat to them. Because if we unite, we got to, look, have you been beating somebody and torturing them all the time? You don't want them to wake up, get any power, because you're afraid they might turn back on you, because they got a right to do it. We have every right to turn back on these people and destroy them, because what they did to us. And if we wake up, we might want to do that. And so they're going to make sure you never wake up. You got a lion. You got, train him, that lion, he wants to be out there doing his thing. So you're going to watch him all the time, because if you roar something at the wrong time, you're going to put him down. Because, he can revert back, and he going to jump, loose and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you understand that. They can't have us. So, and so, like I said, and these people, you gotta please the people. Say things they like. They're sitting over there. That's what fire comes to when you. Cause I was some of this preacher. Anyway, what he did was, I can't remember. I wish I could remember. Then it'd be more impactful if I could. Because it was something that he said he wasn't supposed to be saying. It's theology schools, or what they call them, right? That they teach something else altogether. But he said something, and he lost his whole congregation because of it. He said he insisted this was the truth. I forgot what it was. Some dogma, something that he because they've been teaching all the black folks. He said no, I'm gonna say it the way it's supposed to be said. He lost everybody. They walked away from him. He had a mega church. I don't know where he is now. I can't remember his name. I remember it happened a few years back. Because the Bible called them ear ticklers. That's what they call them. Look it up. It means they tell you what you want to hear. That's how they hold on to you. If you get a master, that's what they say. That's what Trump did. He said Trump, he has a whole different agenda than what his so-called mega. But he says he looked out because okay. Let me put it another way. I'm not going. This is not going to be no 2 hour. I'll tell you. I'm closing in a few minutes. You know, so most people don't know about statistics. It's two sides of statistics, or it's a couple of sides, right? Now, they go out and do statistics. Now, that's mathematics. It's a certain type of mathematics. It's like they're doing, doing surveys, like what they call it. They find out what people's polls and stuff, right? So you go out and you do a survey and you say, "Oh man, there's 1 million people out there that love dogs. They really love dogs." And they're donating money. So you do something, you found that then you may hate dogs, but then you say, "Hey man, that's the whole population out there. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna send letters to these people." That's what they do. They find their addresses and everything else, and they say, "Man, we got these dogs. They're in trouble." A nonprofit organization, you understand that? That's bullshit. Because it was Bob Dole. Remember, he was that big senator. His wife was in charge of a Red Cross. She became the top dog there, and she was making her salary like $1 million a year. See, that's bullshit too. Well, nonprofit means the profit is just the salary. So that money comes in, right? It says nonprofit. But you can pay salary, so you can say, okay, $1 million coming. Okay, I give myself $1 million salary. See, that's the game. Anyway, so you go out and do that, and people send money. So you take advantage of that. That's some people devils do. I mean, I know how it works. I'm not going to rip off people. If I wanted to make a lot of money, that's what I would do. You go out and do a survey. You can go out and you can pay people to do a survey. They say what people like, whatever. Somebody's advertising, somebody they focus on certain people. They say, okay, and then you get your address and everything, and you send them a mailer. Right? And you may hate it. You may hate what you're selling, but you selling it because that's what they want. And you may be totally against dogs. But these people will give you money for doing so. Yeah, I'm gonna love dogs. That's the way it works. Anyone can do it if you understand how to do it. Black folks don't know about this stuff, and they focus you. So now you get letters, you don't know where you got them. How I know it was you. That's one of the ways to do it. And politicians do the same thing. They go out and say, okay, they say putting the finger, the finger in the wind, what they call it, to find what people's heads are, what they're interested in. And then they become that. They become that. Let me say it again. They become that. That's not who they are. They become that where they know people are looking for, what people want you to be. But that ain't them. That's the image that gets them votes, get them in power. All this stuff is going against you, bro, so you have no idea. You have no idea. Bill Clinton did that with black folks. He hated black people. He had a three-strike law. Look at all the things he did. What he did. He was the most anti-black president, and they love black folks loved to death. He was the most anti-black president in the last 50 years. All the bills he put in. But he went and said, hey, so he was out there doing jazz things with the glass on and all this stuff, man. Hey, man, Bill Clinton, man. And everything he did was against black people because he knew this is what the black people going to identify with. And that's what he did. Him and his wife both, they hated black people. But he said that's what they identified was they voted for him. Because he was cool, man. He was like playing jazz and all that kind of stuff. That's what they like. And they voted for him. That's the game. Play with your emotions. And once you get out of the emotional state, they can't do it anymore. That's why they keep you in an emotional state. And all you like that. They say, I'm not playing that game, so you can't come here. You won't stay here. But you stay with Farrakhan because that's all emotional. Because everything is against him. The devil, biology, everything Elijah Muhammad taught, everything else. He even admits the fact that Muhammad said he'd be his worst hypocrite. But light skin, man, he's got straight hair. You know. You are blind to your destruction. Blind leading the blind, going right into a pit. Don't move on, brothers and sisters. Can't shake out that emotional state. Because you're all in it, every one of you. You're going to pay the price because you're not going to wake up. You're going to wake up under fire. You could have woke up before the hospital caught on fire. You wake up in the hospital's on fire. You woke up before that, but you refused. You want to stay in an emotional state. So that's why you find all these clowns, all of them, they always selling stuff and you right with them. And look how they abused the people. Look how Royal was just abusing the people. And there's other guy, Ben Yahweh, whatever, he was actually torturing people and they were standing there with him. It wasn't an intellectual thing that made sense. None of these things I just showed you made sense. What Farrakhan just said makes no damn sense. He said, well, God, son of man with nappy, woolly hair, and that ain't him, that ain't Master Farrakhan either. The scriptures, but if you come here, the scriptures are totally clear. You can't make any mistake. If you come here, it's totally clear. You read Exodus right there. You got Farrakhan. You can't escape. But if you're in a mental place, you're in a emotional state, he got you. They all got you. If you can't find him, just like you was on an emotional state with Elijah. So you need that fix. So he left me, oh man, my dealer's gone, man. Find me another dealer. Oh, Farrakhan, he's dealing. Because he's so totally against everything Elijah Muhammad said, everything. Everything. God's not a man and all this stuff. Because you did because you're a goddamn dope addict. You're hooked on emotions. That's what dope addicts are. He's not here. They're hooked on how they feel. Those drugs make me feel, so I'm right there with them damn drugs. That's why you're with them. Because if I come, it's not about truth. Because you can't come to you on a lecture. I already put out there $1,000. Show me you can't. You can't come to your intellectual place. You can't. You already tried. Because you just like him. Don't talk about Farrakhan, man. He said, I love Farrakhan. Like my son told me, right? He don't listen to anything I told him. He don't follow any of my advice. Totally messed his life up, everything. Said, I love you. I said, okay, what about me do you love? He couldn't answer. See. It's emotional bullshit you're saying. Tell me what it's about me you love. Because you don't follow anything I told you. You don't follow none of my examples or anything. So tell me what he couldn't answer. You see what I'm saying? That's how I shut that shit down. Okay, what is the part that you love? Just a word. I said that, he shut down. Then he got mad. That's the actual true story. So he's about to wake up in a minute. That's why unless he changes his mind, because he done pissed them off too. Better read Exodus. If he don't make his move, he lost. All I can do is put the information out there. I'm gonna have your transportation. I'm gonna have the food for you. So you get the food from him and the transportation from him. Man from heaven and the transportation out here. I need to get information. If you don't wake up, you lost. Because all this motive, tell me, I proved it. Everything you do out there is all based on emotion. All of it. All these people you follow Farrakhan, you can't find any intellectual, one verse in the scripture that supported, not one. Not one. I'd give you $1,000 if you could. Come on, brothers and sisters. I want to show you a couple things I'm going. All the clowns here, all emotional. God was telling you he's the supreme manifestation of God or something like that. Then you got Melchizedek over there. I got Elijah. Okay, what's your vision? Okay, what's your vision? Elijah, nobody after Elijah. Hey, wait, you read Malachi? Yeah. What about messing the covenant? Dead. He's dead. Here's said, and right there, the next verse, messing the covenant, what you be seeking. Read Elijah, nobody after Elijah. And so if they like him, they would. They ain't pay attention to anything else. They got one called himself Son of Man. Yet he's representing America and so forth and so on. So he wanted reparations. Okay, are you prepared for reparations? You know what the devil could do right now? He just say, okay, Negroes, you got 7 states, they're all yours right now. Right now. Right, all yours right. I'm gonna give every one of you $1 million right now. You know what a catastrophe that would be? It's all yours now. We are hands off. It's all yours. You know what a catastrophe that would be? Who's gonna run it? Then there'd be a fight. The Christians want to run it. The preachers going to run it. Right. Who's going to run it, Farrakhan? Who's going to run it, Silas? You going to run it? They're going to listen to you? Who's going to run this? Who's going to run the infrastructure? Who's going to control it? Who's going to keep the electricity? Who's going to do all that stuff that you claim that you want? Are you training people? It's all bullshit because they thought, see, first of all, it's a dream. So they don't know they're going to get this. It's something they want. So that means you shouldn't be with them anyway. Because now you latch your wagon. Somebody don't know where the fuck they going. Yeah, I said it. You hook your wagon for somebody don't know where the fuck they going. Oh, I want to rep. Okay. You don't know if you're going to get it or not. So why you push behind something you don't even know what's going to happen or not? If it does happen, are you prepared for it? All these guys, they have no vision. Farrakhan had a vision either. What's his vision? Stay here. And do what? And do what? What's the vision? Just stay here. We ain't going nowhere. Okay? We're going to get 6 days. Well, we're going to get Farrakhan because your ass you got 2 damn feet in the fucking grave. So how you gonna get it, Farrakhan? You ain't around. The dumbass Ishmael, if this ain't gonna happen that way, but if he did, then Ishmael's not gonna run that damn thing. Shit, he can't even wipe his own ass. The boy's totally retarded. So what you gonna get following Farrakhan? And they say you ain't going to us. What's your vision? You ain't got anything. You ain't built anything. What's your vision? You found blind. If they don't have a vision, I mean they're blind. You Blind leading the blind. What's their vision? What's the next vision? That's a black man? Okay. When, go read the message, study it, and see if that tells you what's going on right now. Is it relevant to what's happening right now? Because actually, Elijah Muhammad said the war of Armageddon will take place in the 70s. I can prove it. He said it will take place in the 70s. Because my father took me to the temple in 62. He passed in 63. We lived right around the corner from it. I didn't know what it was. I was, what, 13 years old? He was converted just before I passed. I didn't know it. I didn't find it until I came in. My aunt told me he was in there. She never did. I didn't know what it was. All I know is he took me in there. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was church or something. I remember the brother saying, one Armageddon will take place in the 70s. And even when I remember, I got in 1970. I got my ex in 1970, August 21st, 1970. And that was still the expectation. I was in there. What was going to take place within the 70s? Tell me, what's your vision? Where are we going? Where you lead us to? You want to get to 6 states? Is that where you lead us to? Are you preparing for it? What if the devil actually gave it to you? And you see America falling apart. The economy collapsed. What you going to do? You going to feed the people? Or are you going to be the food for the people? What's your vision? You're all full of shit. To tell you what the vision is. It's no skin on my back because I've already earned my ticket. And I'm leaving. And you ain't holding me back. Read it. The Lamb and the elect. Take it out of here. You're the one left behind. No doubt. I don't have to depend on that. Because I can just leave right now. I know exactly where to go, what to do. I can get my family, I can leave right now. I see what's going on. If Master Farmer doesn't make a move, I'm out of here. I already see the trap. You don't see it. I see the snare. You don't see it. They already got it ready. They don't see it. They don't see it. Most probably don't see it either. It's already set. And these clowns, and some of them actually work for the devil anyway. Agents. Well, some of them are, because they tell you, bureau deletion, that means we don't know who they are. We know, but it's got to be people that's probably representing Elijah's message, and they're probably confusing it and everything else. And that's exactly what they're doing. All these different, I think all these different things. Message came, one clear message, and they go, all this bullshit out there. Then you got people coming in going to try to do this with this. They mess the message right in my face. So we think they would have it if I left. They can't get it right in my face. And it's mathematics too. All you got to do is add to the mathematics, find what's right or wrong. If I was disappeared and I came back 100 years from now, I wouldn't even recognize it. I mean, I'm 5 years, a year from now. Come on, brothers and sisters. Bad time. Bad time. Let's be here. They don't come. I want one's Negro, but I'm gonna give me a gun. Okay, do you own a gun factory? You own a bullet factory? See how goddamn stupid that shit is? In the South, they advocate that too. We gotta get armed. We gotta get armed. Okay, you got you're gonna build an arm, you're gonna build a gun factory, you're gonna teach people how to use it, you're gonna build billets. See how dumb that shit is? It doesn't matter. Because they say dumb shit, it doesn't matter. It's emotional. When you're on drugs, everything's good. So you're on emotion, you're drugged out on emotions. So it's only whether they feel whether you like the person or not. It doesn't matter whether they right or wrong. What's right or wrong is how you feel. That's the truth. The truth is your feelings, not in here. It's not whether it's mathematically correct. That's right or wrong. But your world, what's right or wrong is how you feel about it. And that's why you're messed up. Because you come to the angel, that's how, if you got to break those verses. Let me go this quickly. I'm going to close out, brothers. See, the thing is, you had the Old Testament, so-called New Testament. The New Testament is not about discipline. That's the Catholic Church. Oh, yeah, just believe in Jesus. And you say something, you go to the priest, confess, he preach Hail Marys, whatever. That's why for 5 years it was strong enough to overcome the Roman Empire. Right? But there was no discipline in it. It was just, right? It was, whatever, the Roman Empire was even worse because they was totally into debauchery and orgies and everything else. So this was a little better than that. So it was overcoming. It wasn't guns and stuff. I keep telling you, the war is words. That's the weapon. So Farrakhan told his children, he's not part of this. He's the enemy. Because if wars out there, you fighting weapons, right? Then you got to have a weapon to shoot. If you stop shooting, that means now you gonna get shot. Because they ain't gonna stop because you stop. That means now there's no resistance. So they just come and tear your ass up. So Farrakhan, see, when you think intellectually, you see right away the error of what he just said. He just told you he ain't on the battlefield. That means shut up. That means he said stop firing. So if you're on the battlefield and you stop firing, that means now you're going to get wiped out because the enemy going to come there and ain't nothing to stop them. Because that's what a weapon is. That's how dumb he is. How stupid he don't know it. It's other thing he don't know. But the point is, the bottom line is, you don't stop firing. That's why I tell me, be strong. Keep putting that information out there. Preach to the four winds. Preach, 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 preach. Because that's the fucking weapon. So he tell you stop, that means that shit right here, he's a goddamn liar. There's all kinds of evidence show he is. But you like him. And that's one of the reasons why they keep incognito right now. Because if you see how decrepit he is right now, that might break that spell. And they can't afford that. Because he's the magnet that holding people together. So they got to keep them. That's why I put all this stuff out there right now. Him old movies of him, old videos of him. The image going. If you see him in decrepit right now, so you might break that spell. All of a sudden, you're gonna look for somebody. You want to fix somebody else. Well, I mean, this cocaine ain't pure, man. Let me find me another dealer. You know what I'm saying? So you run to somebody else. An emotional level. Because you got two choices. Find another dealer. Quit. Take discipline to quit. You don't want to do that. That means you come to the angel. Simple. Anyway. And then the Quran. Discipline. So it blew away the Catholic Church. Blew away. For 1,000 years. It was two sides of the Bible. The Old Testament is all about discipline. So they broke away from the Catholic Church about priest stuff and we started reading the old Bible, going to old school. The Puritans. Everybody's going to be righteous now. Women are going to be clothed. And we're going to, start practicing discipline. That's Adam. And they blew away. They blew away the Islamic world. They want to see like, how come they want power is power? So if they blew you away, it means they have more power than you. So why they got more power than you? Power comes from God, doesn't it? So something wrong with you because they got more power than you. You have more power than them, now they got more power than you. And power comes from God. Power is not something you can imagine, it's something that's real. So whatever they was doing, their knowledge was more powerful, and they brought this world in, because you had your Islamic world, that was cute, that was nice. From that time, that was That was modern. Remember, the Islamic world, that was during that time, that was the modern world. It was nice, clean. They had this technology, whatever, if you want to call it that. And then you come with something more powerful. And blew it away. It blew it away, obliterated it, because it blew it away because they had no power over the Christians for 500 years. No power at all. Is that a coincidence? Oh, well, that's God willed it? See, that's what the bullshit they come up with. That's your, whatever's in there, whatever they was in there, the knowledge they were getting there was more powerful than the knowledge the Sunnis had. Knowledge. They brought this world in. And now the angel is a new season. It's going to blow away all of that. Totally obliterated. That's what scripture tells you. You can make all things new. We have to explain that to you. They make all things new. You obliterate everything as old. Obliterate it. All things new. Then you told obliteration. That means all that's going to be gone. That's why I tell you, Moses, he crushed that golden calf. He crushed it. As soon as it's going to be gone. Eradicated totally, the whole idea of it. The whole idea of it. Mathematical Islam. Because they don't have no mathematics over there. And whether each one of those verses, remember the book is just a book. It's like atomic bombs, it's just sitting there. You got to ignite it. So the book, the arsenal was there. It's been sitting there for 2,000 years. It had somebody come in, put what you got nuclear codes to make the bomb explode. Somebody come in, figure those nuclear codes, and every time it broke one of those seals, boom! And so now this world's in trouble because the pressure's on it. Every time you break one of those seals, you ignite a bomb, boom! Atomic bomb. Every time you break one of those verses. And the only one breaking those verses, Son of Man. So no one could do it but him. You're breaking those verses, boom. That's what's putting this world under so much pressure. And right now it's at a critical point where anything could just, they're talking World War III will blow away everything. That's what they're saying it. They're at a critical point that anything can happen right now. They're actually talking World War III. Even last week they weren't talking that. Russia just put it on the table. Nuclear war. Trump saying the same thing. He sent nuclear submarines over there right now in Russian territory. What do you think that means? You got the fire under the pot. You see a couple of bubbles. What do you think is going to happen next? You got fire under the pot. You see a couple of bubbles. What do you think is going to happen next? That's where we are. Everything's right there. What's causing it? They can't stop it. They try to stop it. They can't stop it. It's getting worse every day. So what's causing it? What's the forces causing it? Every day I'm breaking up more verses. I'm putting all that pressure on because they can't fight it. They come out and try to attack me. But it explains everything. It tells you total explanation of everything that's going on right now. Everything. The trap, scripture, who everybody, everything. It's totally clear. But here, to be emotional, you're looking for another high, man. You know, you got something in you, you got something from me? Well, yeah, man, why don't you try this, man? It's a new product, man. It's going to do it for you. Okay, give me that, man. Oh, yeah, come on, man. I need something. Come on, man. You know, hey, man, Elijah love, man. I need something, man. Need a fix, man. He here now. That's the situation that people are in. That's why they're falling for this crap. I'm trying to tell them to go cold turkey, cut that shit out. Wake up and get on that engine. Anybody hearing it? So what happens? All of a sudden you be cut off the drugs. You know what happens when all of a sudden there's no drugs? Oh man, then you gotta go what do they call it? Withdrawals. Right? You're gonna go in a minute. Assalamu alaikum. People here, these all these clowns with all their bullshit, magnets, attracted people. Anybody gonna make it? The miles up top here, come on, man, get home. We got all that bullshit. All these magnets on the side. Some made it. Some got pulled into the bullshit. That's the way it is, bro. It's just that simple. We're looking at it. See her nose, I ain't see her. The Levite bar is all messed up. Head where the feet should be, the feet should be where the head, whatever. So now you got a foot running it because it's all messed up. And you can easily see it, but you can't see it because you because we got foot cells. If foot cells running, the foot cells will say, "Let's march." That's what foot cells think. Let's march. Foot cell, they run butt cell because everybody's running. Everybody say, "I'm the God." Ain't that something? All of them, they're the God. Yahweh and Yahweh, I'm the God. Besides, I'm the perfect manifestation of God. All this bullshit. Farrah come to Christ. So everybody's taking a chance to lead. All these different cells trying to take a chance to lead. So you got this Frankenstein thing here. So when the foot cell is running it, let's march. We had that right with Martin Luther King. We'll march. We had the settings with Stokely Carmichael and those guys. How did those things work out? Give me an idea. Just love everybody, heart cell. Love, only love can conquer hate. Just love them. Show me the Bible with that. With that. Ain't what Jesus said come back with. He said come back, kick ass. That's the situation. That has to be straightened out. Tribulation, if you make it to tribulation, at this point, I'm not sure you don't get to tribulation. At this point, that has to be put correct. It's all messed up right now. So you got leaders, all those clowns. I'm the God. Switch say I'm the God. But say I'm the God. So you leading them. Where's the butt cell leading you? The damn toilet bowl? Mm-mm. It's a process, bro. It's just a piece at a time. I haven't had nothing in vain because I'm warming up the nation. I'm warming them up. If I don't warm them up, that's why I make the move. It'll still be too late. We got a time problem here. So to be warmed up enough. When he get otherwise they ain't warm enough. They won't even so it still will be too late. They still won't have time to react. My time has not been wasted. But it says it's going to take all this time for them to finally recover. You want to push like building muscle, keep on. Eventually, you start seeing the result. But you gotta keep on going. You go have muscle big overnight. You gotta keep on doing it. Suddenly, there it is. Energy deprivation, say good. Energy lowers, getting less. Bam! Now we see here. We're down to emotional state under the devils. It's two-dimensional, emotional realm. But we had the ability to go back up. They don't. So you just stay here. We move back up. That's your choice.
going to make it? Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. The heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our past here. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return, with their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tied in chains themselves, bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
make it. Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return, with their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tied in chains themselves, bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and we're finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years, right? And so we've been here a year now. And there was an agreement made. A former slave master, he said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted to give up their inheritance and traded for a place in America in reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go to where it's sand and all that stuff. We want to stay here in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we're getting reports of how things are going over there. And it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given, they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. You know, they was listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them, you know, they stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land. And they can make reconciliation with the former slave master. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, you know, they were just, you know, did some things wrong, but now they, you know, they're gonna make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And you know, I mean, this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came, man. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. So we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And it's just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they had Big and Master. They came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, but he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, Master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told them 6 days to promise them that he would have prepared them for it, right? Have schools and education, whatever they need for that. But now, I guess they didn't, because they said over there now they begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They say, they looked at the farmers when they done the farmers said, oh. So then they had master, what's happening here? How come you know? Right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now they master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look, and man, they had, a year ago, they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now, they look there now, and all the food's gone. It's gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Now you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? And so they've been praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's Master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparations, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left. They took that was offered to them. They took it, and you said no. I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. That's you. What you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff was coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they was celebrating. And now they crying and begging the Master, hey, we got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Where you come about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, nowhere. We don't have to fly the planes and to drive the trucks and the boats and stuff and to go and get this stuff. Well, what you done this for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you calling for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was your reparations. So then if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how is that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, eh? And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened in like for a year, they thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So I guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, except them replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. The factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep. They thought that was just going. I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See, and they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They business. They didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, call on your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? See? You don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, because, I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he said, God said that's where he's going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, it does say, look, hold it. We want total separation. Look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1 million, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. It's all economics. So they go and tell it. They tell all the people all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So he said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take our money because we don't know what y'all doing over there. You have your own money, you have to find your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Transfer all your dollars into gold. Right? Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million a piece. So everybody got $1 million a piece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation. Right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say $1 million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounce, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you're going to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now, because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one's worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth, because those certificates has to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, they less gold. You understand? So if a dollar is worth an ounce of gold, which that's right, then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing the wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. Maybe $1. Hardly worth anything. Hey, that's our money. You gotta have your own money, you control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me you had a forked tongue because they kept making trees with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you bury it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got gold. And even if they take it, hold on to money, hope to increase again, they're just using another different certificate, using another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you was so happy with it now, it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything with $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't have to build communications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You don't have to engineer, build a house. You don't have to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you he'll give you 6 days. He told you, listen to me, right? So now you're broke, and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything, right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You still had your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you want to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. That's you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you call your land now? Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it travel land. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan, right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I'll come back work for you, I'll work for Popeyes, I'll do anything you want. No, remember, the blacks, either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, any places, just in that land that you 6 states. And now you're starving, you ain't got your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. See, on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them no reparations. We sold them that used car. You turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold that for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. And so what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. They gave us everything we asked for. What are we going to do, Farrakhan? What are we going to do? Pray, 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 pray. That's his answer. Pray, pray, pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they want to give you some land and take care of you? You think they want to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? How much that is? If it's 17 million, that's 17 million times 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. Then they're gonna do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded. Because they closed the border. What you gonna do? You gonna fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember, he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, which was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Farrakhan ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and then they get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here, where they, because you know they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Boys come here. Disaster over there. And, oh, I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold it. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what some name to call it right there. That 6 day. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh no. Now he went and asked Master Farad Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the Master said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farad Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You made your choice, live with it. Or die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did. I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to him. Said, we please come and get him. Nope. Said, no, tell him no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land. You got your reparations. You got your money. You got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him. Talk to him. Let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea. He was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations. We told you. Right? So Suleiman, right? He was the messenger to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, so they might get any more reports on. Okay, he says that was Matthew Prophet Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those. Wow, they came in. All that came in today, man. Came in fast. After a whole year, total collapse. Now they begging it. Somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send us some food. Master Muhammad said, we got to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. He said, please just send us some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send us some food. He says, no. He refused. That's the report. I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's read to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no way. You made your choice, case closed. Okay? Just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.